Welcome to Behavior of Money, where we explore how psychology, behavior, and real-life experiences shape every financial decision you make. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to hear. We expect to master money with only 20 to 50 years of experience in a system that barely existed before our grandparents. For something driven more by emotion than facts, that expectation is a problem, and it explains why we don't always behave the way financial textbooks say we should. We all do strange things with money, not because we're foolish, but because we're new. What looks reckless to you may feel reasonable to me. No one is crazy. We make choices based on our personal histories, and in the moment, those choices make sense. Now, let me tell you a story about how Bill Gates became rich. Luck and risk are siblings. They are reminders that outcomes in life are shaped by forces far beyond effort alone. NYU professor Scott Galloway captures this perfectly when he says, "Nothing is as good or as bad as it seems." Few stories illustrate this better than Bill Gates, who attended one of the only high schools in the world with a computer. How Lakeside School, near Seattle, even acquired a computer is remarkable. Bill Duggal, a World War II Navy pilot turned math and science teacher, believed education required real-world experience. He also foresaw that computers would matter in college, as Paul Allen later recalled. In 1968, Duggal convinced the Lakeside Mothers Club to spend about $3,000 from a rummage sale to lease a teletype Model 30, connected to a General Electric mainframe for time-sharing, an idea invented just 3 years earlier, in 1965. Gates later said someone was pretty forward-looking. At the time, most graduate schools lacked computers as advanced as the one Gates accessed in 8th grade. Gates was 13 years old in 1968 when he met Paul Allen. Both were obsessed with the computer. It wasn't part of the regular curriculum, which meant they had unrestricted access. After school, nights, weekends, they became experts. One night, Allen recalled Gates pointing to Fortune magazine and asking, "What do you think it's like to run a Fortune 500 company?" Allen had no idea. "Maybe we'll have our own computer company someday," Gates replied. Today, Microsoft is worth over $1 trillion. Consider the odds. In 1968, there were about 303 million high school-aged people worldwide, 18 million in the U.S., 270,000 in Washington state, 100,000 in Seattle, and only 300 at Lakeside. 1 in a million. Gates was one of them. He later said in 2005, "If there had been no Lakeside, there would have been no Microsoft." Gates was brilliant and hardworking, but he also received a 1 in a million head start. Now, consider Kent Evans. Evans was Gates' best friend, and by Gates' own account, the best student in their class. They talked constantly. Evans matched Gates and Allen in technical skill and shared Gates' ambition. Together, Bill and Kent built a scheduling program for Lakeside, children solving adult problems. Gates remembers Kent always carrying a lawyer-style briefcase, always planning their future together. Kent could have been a founding partner of Microsoft, but he died in a mountaineering accident before graduating high school. Each year, about 30 dozen Americans die mountaineering. The odds are roughly 1 in a million. Gates received 1 in a million luck. Kent experienced 1 in a million risk. Same talent, same moment, very different endings. If this video changed the way you think about money, please like, share, and subscribe to Behavior of Money for more insights like this.